Hi there, and welcome to your yoga class. We are going to start the same way that we always do, and we're going to sit on our bottoms in a really comfortable position, and we're going to just start by equalizing our breathing, and that's all. So get comfortable if you want to. You can have your hips higher than your knees, so you can sit on a block or something like that if you want. It can just be a little bit comfier, that's all. So put your hands wherever is comfortable and close your eyes. You don't have to close your eyes, but it's always nicer, I think, to shut your eyes. That's it. Take a nice big exhale. And what we're going to do is concentrate on feeling those sit bones on the floor, keeping our backs nice and straight, but keeping our shoulders nice and relaxed as well. That's it. And we're going to try and breathe in and out through our nose if you can. That's it. Nice big deep breaths. Feel them all in your thoracic cavity, using all that space in there. That's it. And trying to breathe in and out for a count of either 4 or 5, just whatever suits you. We'll all naturally have a bit of a different rhythm. So 5 suits you a little bit better, that's fine, but you can play around with it a wee bit. But I really want you to be trying and getting rid of all that air out your lungs and getting as much in as you possibly can. That's it. Really concentrating on just coming into the practice and taking a little bit of time just to arrive on your mat and to forget about everything else that's happened today or about to happen today whenever you're doing this. Just do a couple of rounds on your own. That's it. By breathing in this way, you're really encouraging the body to start the relaxation. It's really important to do this at the beginning of your practice or at any other point of the day, actually. So we're sitting nice and comfortably, and you can open your eyes. And we are going to start by taking our head over to the left-hand side. So just gently feel that stretch up the shoulder. That's it. And keeping your head in line with your body, so don't put your head forward, keeping it in line with your shoulder. That's it. And if you want a bit of a deeper stretch at this point, you can put your hand on your head and gently just stretch it that little bit more if you want. You don't have to though. You can just keep your hands here. Feel that lovely stretch and then come back up to the centre and feel it on the other side. You might hear a few clicks. That's okay as long as it's not sore. And again, you can do that on the other side to deepen that stretch just a little bit, but do what suits you. That's it. Breathing in and out of your nose, remember? Easy to forget breathing. That's it. And bringing your head back. So we're going to look down at the ground now and feel that stretch up the back of your neck. That's it. And then looking right up to the ceiling. That's it. Giving the front of the neck a nice big stretch now as well. That's it. And coming back to the centre. So what we're going to do now is just give the shoulders a little stretch. So clasp your hands together in front of you like this and really open those shoulder blades. Really push and get that nice opening feeling between your shoulder blades. That's it. Pushing out and trying to almost separate your hands, but not separating. So you're a right good grip on there. That's it. Hold that for a few breaths. And then we're going to flip the hands and press out the way. That's it. And give these arms a really good stretch. You'll feel that the stretch has changed. Not so much in the shoulders now. It's more of an inner arm stretch now, which is absolutely fine. That's it. Feeling a little bit more mobile up there now. Right, so we're going to stay in this position and we're going to do some seated sun salutations this time. We obviously do the standing up ones quite a lot, but just for a change, and it's just as effective, we can do them on the floor. So we sit in the same position, cross leg. You can go on your knees if you really can't sit in a cross leg position, but stay here otherwise. And we're going to inhale and lift our hands up to the ceiling and bring them down into our heart center. Dead easy. So inhale and exhale and bring them down. And we're going to do 6 of these, okay? So this is number 3. Inhale and exhale. That's it. Inhale and exhale. Feeling that nice stretch in your upper body. Inhale and exhale. And last one. Inhale and exhale. Well done. So now we're going to come up onto a tabletop position and start warming that core up a little bit more. So coming onto your hands and knees, we get that familiar box position. So your shoulders are above your wrists, your hips are above your knees, and if you tuck your toes in for this one, because we'll be doing a couple of different things, that's it. So we're in our tabletop position, which in itself is good. You should always be switching your core on in this position anyway. So we're sitting in our core position and we're going to circle our hips. Now we're going to go back first of all. So put your hips back towards your feet, then out to the left, round to the front and out to the right, then back again. So a nice big circle. That's it. Nice big circle. This is really good for getting your pelvic area warmed up. That's it. And do a few rotations clockwise or anti-clockwise, depending which way you started, doesn't matter. Back to the front, and then we're going to go the other way. So remember, we're going to go back, first of all, round to the opposite way from where you went before, up to the front, over to the other side, and continue your hip circles, and really feel that in your, probably the tops of your thighs. You'll be feeling this, and your pelvic area. That's it. Nice stretches. Really nice one, this one. That's it. And once you've done a few rotations of that, come back to tabletop again. So now we're going to do an extended cat pose, and I'll show you and then you can follow along with me afterwards. So first of all, we take our right leg first of all and just put it out parallel to the body like that. So it's in a nice straight line with your back. Then we take out our left hand and put it in front of us. That's it, and switch that core on. That's what's going to give you your stability here. And we stay here for a few breaths. Okay, so let's do one of them. So put your foot out first. This helps get your balance. And then your hand. And really ground down into the contact points of the mat. Concentrate on your breathing and switch that core on. And flex your heel towards the back as well. That's it. And then back down. We'll do the same on the other side. So reset into tabletop position. That's it. And then we put our left leg up, flex that heel. And then we put our right arm out and switch that core on. That's it. Really ground down. Keep that core squeezing up. That's it. And then come back down. They don't look like much, those ones, but they're quite hard to hold. So we'll do one more on each side. So remember, foot up first and then your hand. That's it. Holding here for as many breaths as you want actually, but 3 or 4 full breaths is good. That's absolutely fine. Keeping that heel flexed as well. And then coming back down and the other side. Left foot up, right arm out. That's it. And your core should be really, really working at this one. That's it. And come back down. So we're in our tabletop position. Now for the next move, our hips are not going to move from above our knees, but what we're going to do, rather than coming down like we do for child pose, we're going to walk our hands forward like this and come into puppy dog pose, and you'll see why. So we're like this, hips are still over your knees, and you're getting that lovely big stretch up the front and sides of your body. That's it. Now you can put your forehead on the floor, or you can put your chin on the floor, gives you a bit of a deeper stretch. That's it. And this, you should feel this up the back of your arms, just at the top. And a bit of a stretch on the front of the body as well. That's it. Holding there for a few seconds. This is a good passive stretch, meaning that you're not doing the stretching, sort of gravity is doing it for you. That's it. And then slowly just walking your hands back up. Okay? Right, so we're going to do a foot stretch now. So what we're going to do is tuck those toes in and put our knees together. And then we're going to come up and sit on our feet like this. That's it. And really push the balls of your feet back, so you'll be feeling a big stretch up the back of both of the soles of your feet. That's what we're trying to stretch. So some toes will be bending than others. Let's sit and really put your weight back, sit up nice and straight, and really push the balls of those feet back, and it stretches the sole of your feet just that little bit more. Sitting up nice and straight. That's good. Remembering to breathe. That's it, well done. Just a few breaths there, that's all. And then coming back to your tabletop position. So from here we're going to go up into downward dog. So square yourself up, reset yourself in your tabletop position. So your knees are a bit hip width apart, and so are your hands, and we're going to tuck those toes under. And remember, we go up first of all like this, then you think about coming back. And let's walk the dog, because this is our first downward dog, and your legs are maybe feeling that wee bit tighter. So walk the dog out. Your heels don't need to come to the floor. Remember, those hands are splayed at the front to give you a good foundation. That's it. And we stay here for a few little breaths. That's it. Really engage those thighs and think about getting that nice straight line from the base of your skull to the bottom of your back. And then we're going to come forward into plank pose. So we shouldn't really need to move anything. We just move forward into a nice straight plank pose. That's it. And from here, we're going to lower down to the mat. Okay. Now, if this is too tough for you, you can always put your knees down. It's always an option. But staying up in plank pose if you can. Heels are pushing back. Always. And we're going to lower to the floor as much as you can. Just go right down. That's it. And from here, we're going to do a cobra pose, which we've done before. Hands, just check in with your hands. They should be at your ribs. And we're going to push up to cobra. Relax those shoulders, tops of the feet on the floor, and your shoulders are still over your wrists. That's it. And you can look up if you want. That's it. And then looking back down, we're going to come back to tabletop like this. We'll go straight up to downward dog later, but just still while we're warming up. Come to tabletop, tuck your toes, push that bottom up, and come back to downward dog. That's it. So we're in downward dog, and we're going to take our right leg and send it up to the sky, keeping that foot flexed, okay? And then we're going to bring it down. You can arch your back for this one and try and touch that right elbow and come back up again. Nice three-legged dog, and come back and touch that tricep, okay? And back up again. Now this time we're going to take our foot to the outside of our right hand. So we tip our weight forward a wee bit and put your foot up there. If it doesn't manage to get there, just give it a wee helping hand. Absolutely no problem with that. So now we're in a very wide lunge. So let's just check in with ourselves. Our left hand's planted, nice and splayed. Same with the right, and our right foot is right next to the outside of the right hand. Okay, back leg, there, you're on the ball of your foot, and your leg is straight. So we're in a really nice wide lunge. That's us. So now we're going to do a cat-cow wide lunge. So what we do is we bend this bottom knee a little bit. So we come up like this and look up the way. That's it. And then we exhale and we come back and straighten this front leg and bend our necks over a little bit. That's it. So we come forward, drop that bottom knee a little bit, look up. And then we come back and straighten that front leg. You can keep it a little bit bent, it doesn't have to be totally straight. And then we come forward again, looking up, and then coming back. That's it. And we'll do one more. Coming up, looking up, and then coming back. That's it. Now, let's just come back to first position, that wide lunge, and we're keeping our hands planted and removing the foot back to go with the other one and coming into downward dog again. That's it. So we're back to downward dog, having a wee bit of a rest. That's it. So this time, we're going to raise our left leg right up to the sky like we did before, keeping that foot flexed. Bend it and touch that left elbow. And back up again. And bend. And touch that elbow. And back up again. And then this time we're coming to put our foot on the outside of our hand. Like that. Remember, give it a helping hand if you want to. So again, this hand right next to this leg. Your knee's not going in front of your toes or anything like that. And the back leg is straight and you're on the ball of your foot. So we'll do our cat-cow lunges on this side now. That's it. So we are going to look up and just this bottom leg here is bending a little bit to allow you to stretch up. That's it. And then coming back. That's it, and arching your back, trying to get this front leg straight, but if it's bent, it's okay. Then coming forward and looking up and exhaling and coming back. That's it, a couple more of these. Forward and looking up and back, straightening your legs if you can. And forward and looking up and coming back and straightening those legs. Well done. So, keeping your hands planted, remember, you're going to bring back your foot to downward dog. And we're going to come into our plank pose again. So come forward, shift your weight forward. Try and keep your body nice and straight, and you're going to come straight down or down onto your knees. So if you're coming straight down, straight and strong down to the mat. And we're going to go for an upward dog. So keep the tops of your feet on your mat. Check where your hands are. And then we push up and you're actually going to go onto the tops of your feet. So your thighs are off the floor. So really engage them and look up. That's it. And then coming back down onto your knees or your thighs. Tuck these toes and we're going to go straight into downward dog this time. So you have to switch on that core. So from here, we're curling our head down and coming straight up. That's it. Straight up. And have a wee rest here in downward dog. Remember, feet are hip width apart, hands shoulder width apart. Nice relaxed shoulders. You're going up and back. Your feet, your heels do not need to be on the floor. They're either going to be up a bit like this, or they're going to be maybe down on the floor with your knees bent. That's absolutely fine. So we're up and downward dog, and then we're going to take that right foot again up to three-legged dog. That's it. Trying to keep, if your heel's on the floor, keep that on the floor, so straight up, and this time coming straight through between your legs. Okay? So your hand is just between so your foot is between your two front hands. That's it. So we're in a low lunge here, remembering knee above the ankle, back leg is straight, and then you're on the ball of your foot. So from here we're going to come up to warrior pose. So we're just going to come straight up. Rest your hands on your knees for a wee second. Then this back foot, you're going to turn about 45 degrees and put it on the floor. And come straight up and put your hands out. So your hips are sort of facing out to the side. You're looking along your right hand, that's it. Nice and strong in your front leg. Don't let it fall in. That's it. And we're in warrior two. Keep your hands nice and parallel. That's it. Now from here we go to peaceful warrior, which means dropping the back hand onto the thigh, turning this hand up at the front, and as if you're lifting something up to the sky, and look up with it. Keep those legs strong. Don't let that front knee fall in. That's it. Looking up to peaceful warrior. And remembering to breathe through your nose. That's it. And from here, we're going to come down and just gently rest that elbow onto your knee. And we can either put our hand up into an extended side angle pose, or you can put it round like this. That's it. And if you're putting it round, try and get that arm as far as you can round, because that'll help you twist into that. That's it. So we're here. And then from there, we're going to come back to Peaceful Warrior after a few breaths. So bringing this hand out, putting it on your thigh again, and then turning this hand up and coming back to Peaceful Warrior like we did before. The thighs should be burning a wee bit by now. And then into Warrior 2, looking straight ahead over that outstretched arm at the front. Nice straight back. And then cartwheeling your hands down to our low lunge where we started. Okay, so we're down in our low lunge. Take that foot back into downward dog. Like this. Have a nice rest in downward dog. We're coming forward to that plank again. Remember down on your knees if you need to. Otherwise in plank, and lowering yourself if you can. Right down onto the tops of your feet. Check where your hands are, should be beside the ribs, and coming up to upward dog. That's it. So thighs off the floor, tops of the feet on the floor, and looking up. And then from here, you can put your thighs back on the floor, tuck your toes, and come straight up to downward dog. That's it. And you're always trying to look at probably the back of your mat. You can look at your navel if you want when you're in downward dog, or the back of your mat. So we're going to do the same on the other side. We're going to lift this leg here, left leg, straight up, keeping both your feet flexed. That's it, and coming right through to put it between your hands. Don't worry if you can't get it there. What you can always do is just lift it up and shuffle it if you need to. No problems at all. So we're in our low lunge. That knee's sort of nestled right in that armpit. Back leg is as straight as possible, and you can look forward if you want to as well. And then we're going to come up to Warrior 2 on this side. So that back foot turns about 45 degrees and come up onto your front knee just to begin with. And we do the other side. So we do it this way, turning away from you, but we're doing it that way, and you're looking straight over that front hand. That's it. And then hand on the back thigh, other hand in the front, facing up. Slide that hand down your thigh. Remember your legs, don't let that knee fall in. And you're looking up to that outstretched hand. And really feeling it in your legs. Both feet are firmly planted. And then coming down, elbow onto your knee, and doing that nice side angle pose. And it should be going straight from the tips of your fingers down to your toes, or wrapping that arm round as much as you can, and hanging onto your thigh if you can. Keep remembering your legs, that's it. Then we're going to come back up to Peaceful Warrior. So hand on the thigh again, this hand facing up. And this is when your legs might start to burn. Keeping those feet planted. If you need more of a stretch, please feel free to put your legs a little bit wider as well. And then coming back into Warrior 2. Looking straight ahead, and then cartwheel the hands down. Well done. Concentrating that low lunge. We're not quite finished yet. That's it. So we're going to come up to downward dog again. Have a nice stretch of those thighs. And then you're going to come down on your knees. You're going to put your big toes together and your knees out to the edge of your mat and come into child's pose. So stretch those hands out in front and forehead on the mat, and your bottom on your heels, if possible. And take a little rest there. That's it. We should all be nice and warm by now, by the way. Right. Okie dokie. So, this time what we're going to do is we're going to come from our child's pose, and we're going to come up to standing now. So from here, you're down here in your child's pose, okay? And then we come up to tabletop. So you're going to have to bring your knees in a wee bit and your feet out a wee bit to get that nice square sense again. That's it. We're going to tuck our toes, go up to downward dog. You know this by now. So straight up and back. That's it. And from here, we're going to step or jump or walk up to our hands, okay? So I'll just walk up, keep your hands on the floor if you can. And we're going to come till your feet are up at your hands at the top of your mat. And you can be on your fingertips if you want. Look ahead and straighten that spine. Feet are together, then forward fold, chest to your thighs if you can. Nice forward fold, that's it. Now your legs can be slightly bent, that's okay. Your hands, if they're not on the floor, as long as they're resting somewhere, is fine. Don't just have them dangling. Okay, so we're in our forward fold. And then we're going to inhale and lift our arms right up together. And exhale, put them down by your sides. Now we're going to stand in mountain pose just for a second. I'll turn round so you can see me, but you stay at the top of your mat. So we're standing. Feet are together. Thighs are rolling in towards each other. Switching those legs on. Switching your core on as well. And your hands are by your sides, facing forward, palms facing forward, shoulders nice and relaxed. I like to give my head a little wiggle because it reminds me to relax my shoulders. Sometimes they're up here, so giving your head a wee shuggle is absolutely fine. And staring straight ahead. It's a good time just to collect yourself as well. That's it. So I'm facing you just to show you what to do, but we're all here. Okie dokie, so now we are going to do a warrior 3 pose, and I'll show you what to do. I'll kind of walk you through it, because what we're going to do, I'll come to the middle, but you just lift up your right leg, just like that. I'll do it from the side so you can see it. So we're standing in our mountain pose at the top of our mat, and you're going to lift up your right leg about right angles to the body, and you're going to take your hands into prayer position, like this. Now from here, you can stay here if you want, that's absolutely fine. Try and get that thigh up as much as you can, or if you want to, you can push that back heel out till you're becoming parallel to the floor and lean forward like that. And fix your point on a floor somewhere so that you don't topple. That's it. As soon as I say the word topple, that's it. And you can also put your hands forward like that. That's it. Or stay in prayer or come back to here. 3 options for you. There's always a variation. So let's do that one together. So just stand at the top of your mat. I'll stay in the middle so that you can see it. So lifting that leg up, right leg up, hands in prayer position. Stay here if you need to, or otherwise gently just put that foot out the back and come forward and find that balance like that and straighten the leg out. That's it. Now from here, we are going to come down to a low lunge. Okay, so that leg that's at the back comes through, and then we're going to come to a low lunge like this. Okay, and from the low lunge, we are going to turn that back foot again, so it's your right leg that's forward on your mat, and we're going to come up to warrior 2 that we've just done. So this is our warrior 2 again, and we're going to stay here for a few breaths. And then we're going to come up so our legs are straight. Now turn our feet so they're parallel towards the side of your mat, and your hands are out nice and straight beside you. That's it. And then you're going to put your hands up to a point and look up for star pose. Staying here just for a little minute. Switching on those feet that are planted on the ground. It, and then putting your hands back out to the sides, turning your right foot, and so it's pointing out away at a right angle, that's it, and turning that back foot in again about 45 degrees, but you'll find what works, and then bend that front knee again, back to warrior 2. That's it. And then we come back down into a low lunge. So then we come back to our downward dog, downward facing dog. That's it. Now this time we are going to walk up again, remember, to your hands, up onto your weight, weight in the front of your toes, and walk up. And we look ahead on the fingertips or hands on our legs. We look ahead and straighten that spine and forward fold. That's it. Chest to your thighs if possible. it, and then we stand, circle sweep our arms up into the air and come back down into our mountain pose, like that, facing the top of the mat, just so that you can see what we're doing. So, same on the other side. So we're going to stand and lift our left leg this time, but I'll do it side on for you again so you can see. So you're still at the top of your mat, still in your mountain pose. So we lift our left leg up, hands into prayer position, and just what we did on the other side. So you can stay like this, absolutely, stand up nice and straight, or you ground down through that standing leg, bring that leg back and lean forward. That's it, as much as you can, and you can put your hands forward as well, or stay here, or come back up to there. Okay, so we'll hold it for a few breaths, whichever one is going to challenge you the most. Wobbling is absolutely fine. So we'll stand, lift our left leg, then put out the back, take your time. That's it. And putting your hands out the front, if that's what you want to do. Keep that back foot flexed, or hands in prayer is fine, and then come back up to standing. That's it. So from here we're going to go down to our low lunge, left leg forward this time. So low lunge, like this, back leg's nice and straight, and the heel is pointing away from you. So from here we're going to come up to our warrior two again. So that back foot comes to 45 degrees. Come up onto your knee first of all if you need to, but then we come up to our warrior two. That's it. Now I'll turn round to face you, but what you're going to do is basically turn towards your right, so you guys will actually be like this just now, and I want you to turn into the middle again. Feet are parallel. We're just going to do what we did on the other side. Feet are nice and wide like this, and we're going to come up to star pose like that, and look up at your hands if you can. And if your knees need to be bent in this, that's absolutely fine. Try and have them nice and straight and press those palms together. That's it. Now remember, when we come back down, we're going to put our hands out to the side first of all. Turn your left foot out towards at a right angle, okay, and your back foot in 45 degrees and bend into warrior pose. That's it. Well done. And then we cartwheel our hands and come down to low lunge again, but I'll turn round so we're in the same position that we were. It was just so that you could see. There we go. Okay, now from here we are going to step the back foot up and cross it over. So I'll do this way so you can see. So we're in our low lunge here, and we're going to step up, weight forward, and cross that back leg over. So we're standing with our legs crossed like this. Okay, so step up, cross your leg behind that front leg, and we're going to go up in our tiptoes, look ahead, straighten the spine, fingertips, and then fold forward. And this will feel very different to what we've done before. So we're folding forward, look up, straighten the spine, take that foot out from behind, look ahead, and then forward fold again. That's it. So we're up at the top of the mat. You guys are up at the top of the mat like this. Up onto your fingertips. Plant those hands and step back into plank. That's us. Lower yourself down if you can. Go on your knees if you need to. Then we're going to come to upward dog. Hands by the ribs and pushing up onto the tops of your feet, engaging those thighs. Then we're going to curl the head under, flip our toes round and come straight up to downward dog. That's it. Now this time we're going to bring the right leg forward. Okay, so from here we're going to step our right leg forward into that low lunge, okay, because we need to bring our left foot behind it this time. So we are going to step up, take our left foot behind just like we did on the other side. So I'll come round so you can see. So left foot's behind this time. So we're here. And just straighten that spine, look ahead, and then forward fold again. And again, you'll find a really different stretch when you forward fold. That's it. That's it. And then take your foot away from behind and stand with your feet both together. Inhale and look up, lengthen your spine, and exhale, forward fold again, as we normally do. That's it. I'll come back up here, so I'm in the same position as you. That's it. And then we're going to slowly roll up this time. So just let your hands come off the floor and roll up to standing. Really slowly, because we've been up and down quite a lot. That's it. And we're back at the top of our mat. So coming on from there, we are going to come and do an eagle pose. Now, as a rule, we stand at the front of the mats whenever we're doing the stationary or balancing poses, but no problem if you want to spread yourself out a wee bit. So, an eagle pose, what is it? Well, we're going to start off by lifting up the right hand leg, okay? So we lift it up, okay? And then we cross it over, okay? We cross that over. The left leg, now you can stay like this, no problem at all, and put your hand at heart centre, okay? Or if you can, get it right round like that and tuck your toes behind your leg if you can and bring your hands to heart centre. That's it. And stay there for a few breaths. It's okay to wobble. That's how you're going to be able to balance better. In future, fix your gaze on something and that helps you balance. Remember, it's okay to just have your leg crossed over. That's absolutely fine if you've not done it before. And stay in there for a few breaths and then you come back down. Okay, so once you come back down, we're going to do a vinyasa, which basically means we're going to reset ourselves at the top of the mat. So we've done our eagle pose. We then circle sweep our arms up and look at them. We come forward to our forward fold, and remember, put your hands wherever they need to be. And then we look up onto our fingertips, plant those hands. Now you can jump or step back. You can jump back like this into your plank, lower down or on your knees if you need to, and then come to upward dog. That's it. Thighs off the ground, tops of the feet on the floor, looking up. And then we come up to downward dog in a oneie if you can. That's it. And then from here, we're either going to jump, walk, step to the front of the mat again. So let's do a couple of steps. Come up onto your fingertips, look forward, forward fold, and then circle sweep your hands up and then down at your sides. So we're back in mountain pose again. So that's just something to keep your kind of heart rate up in between doing the standing ones so you don't get too cold. I'm sure you won't. But we're going to do eagle on the other side. So we're going to take our left leg this time and cross over just like we're crossing our legs above the knee if you can. And you can stand here, okay? Because that's quite a challenging balance in itself anyway, because as soon as you wrap those toes round the back, it kind of throws you off a wee bit. So if you can wrap the toes, awesome. If not, just stand with your leg out. And we'll stay here, try and stay here for 3 or 4 breaths. That's it. Remember, you can stand like this, no problem at all. And then come back up. Well done. So all these standing ones might feel a bit impossible at first. I would urge you to just keep trying them. The more you do it, the easier it will become. You can hang on to a wall, that's no problem at all. However, it might actually hinder the process a little bit of you actually getting your balance, but if it makes you feel safer, please do it, okay? Just whatever it takes for you to get that little bit more of a challenge out of it and, you know, come along with it a wee bit. So that was your eagle pose. So now we are going to actually come down to the mat. So we're going to come down to the mat in our usual way with a vinyasa. We don't just sit down in yoga, no, no, no. So again, vinyasa, we're going to circle sweep our hands up to top. Look at our thumbs, forward fold. That's us, wherever your hands are. Then we come up to our fingertips, look ahead, plant our hands, step or jump back. I'll step back this time. Lower yourself down and then come up to upward dog. That's it. Thighs off the floor if you can. And then look down, come straight up to downward dog if you can. Like this. Now we're here. And what we need to do is fold in like wee butterflies' wings. We need to take our left knee towards our hand. So we're like this. And then your right knee towards your hands. And sit back in your bottom. All of a sudden you're on the floor. You don't have to do that. You can just come straight down. That's no problem at all. But the more proficient you get at that, you'll be popping forward. No problem at all. So we are down on the floor. And what we're going to do now is a seated star pose, which is sitting, and we put the soles of our feet together, and they don't have to be right up here. A nice diamond shape is good. That's us. And sit, put your hands wherever's comfortable. Sit with a nice straight back. This is another great passive stretch because gravity is doing the work, because your knees are sort of gently pulling down anyway. Okay. Now what we can do is hold on to our feet, just gently. That's it. And inhale and stretch and lengthen that spine. And you're going to pivot forward at the hips. So from side on, you're going to be coming forward like that. Try keep looking forward, because the tendency is to do this. But let's do this. And you'll feel quite an intense stretch in the middle of your thighs. So inhale, lengthen the spine, and come forward. That's it. As far as you can. If that's an inch, that's fine, because you'll know where your limit is. So come forward, that's it. And feel that hip opening. Just there. That's it. Stay there for a few breaths. Again, really good passive stretch, this one. You're not having to force anything. Gravity is doing most of the work for you. That's it. And then come back up to sitting. Well done. So we are now going to do a camel pose. So we come up onto our knees. So you're sort of standing up on your knees, if you like. Now, a camel pose is almost like, rather than a backward bend, think of it more as a front flexion, because this whole front of your body really is the bit that has to flex to get you back. Now, we're not going to be doing anything too fancy, don't worry. What we're going to do is put our hands at the top of our back like this and look up to the ceiling. Okay, now you can stay here, no problem at all. Your feet can be flat on the floor like this, or they can be tucked, whatever makes you feel more secure. So we're looking ahead and then look up. Okay, now you can slide those hands down a little bit if you want to get a bit more of a backwards bend. That's it. Just feel that all up the front of your body. That's it. Now if you want to, you can have a wee reach for your heels if you feel that it is going to be easy enough for you. It's going to be easy for some people and not available for a lot of people. So what you can do is reach back, touch one heel, and then reach back and do the other. Look back. Okay, but don't do that if you've got lower back pain, or you feel that if you don't want to do it, don't do it. But if you feel that you're nearly there and you want to maybe try it, but please be careful, okay? This is enough, okay? We should be holding that for maybe about 4 or 5 seconds. Okay, so we'll do that again. We're up on our knees, remember, at sort of the top of your bottom, and we're looking up. And even that is a very small back bend. If you want to, you can lean back and put a wee bit of curve into that spine. That's it. And you'll find your restriction, your breathing is a little bit restricted as well. That's kind of natural. It's a position you're in, but remember to breathe through your nose. If you can. That's it. And then come back up. Nice. Okay, so now we're going to do a pigeon pose. Now, what this involves is we are going to take one foot forward parallel as much as we can to the front of the mat. So I'll show you one way round and then I'll show you side on. So we're sitting on our knees here, okay? And what you're going to do is take the left foot forward and you're going to sort of lay the knee down. So you're going to take your left foot forward and across and lay the knee down like this and put that back leg back like this. So we're sitting like this, okay? If you can get it as parallel as you can, then great, okay? So I'll turn around and let you see a wee bit more so that you can see it from this position. You're up on your knees, you're bringing that leg forward, crossing it over, and then you can lean forward, put it flat, so your shin's flat on the floor, and then get yourself all nice and comfortable. Get that back leg, sugar it back, that's it, and then come up on your hands, and this is a pigeon pose. So obviously you feel a big stretch in here. The top of the foot is on the floor. You're obviously trying to get as big a stretch as possible. That's it. Fiddle about a wee bit, get comfortable, and you can come up on your fingertips and a nice straight back. That's it. And if you want to, you can come down and do sleeping pigeon. But what's really important is to keep those hips square. Okay, so I don't want you coming over to the side like that. That's a bit too easy, bit of a cheat. I want you up with both hips square. If you're going to come forward, both hips need to be square. So coming forward and putting your head on the mat. Or remembering that you can be up here. Okay? Either is absolutely fine. So staying here for a few breaths, and it is quite an intense stretch, so it should feel super stretchy. That's it. And if you're lying on the floor, slowly walk up now. Then we're going to bring your feet to the front and we're going to windscreen wiper them like this. Feel that tension. So it is quite an intense stretch, that one. And just do as much as you can. What's available for you won't be available for other people and vice versa. So don't worry too much about it. Okay, so we'll come up on our knees again. That's it. Up on our knees. And we're going to do the other foot. So, put the foot forward and across a little bit. Put that shin on the floor, lean forward to get the knee down if you can. And shuggle that back foot back. That's it. Remember, hips are square, no collapsing. Onto this buttock. Your hips are up. That's it. And you're sitting up nice and tall. That's it. And looking up if you want, but you can just look straight ahead. Keep fiddling about until you get it right. That's it. And then you can come forward, remember. Put your hands or your head on the floor if you want. Like this. And when it gets a little bit uncomfortable, just remember you're breathing through your nose. That's it. And walk your hands back up. Or if you're up here, that's absolutely fine. And then gently bring yourself back and windscreen wiper your legs like this. That's it. That really loosens it off. Well done. I hope we're all feeling good. Nice loose hips after this. So we're going to come to the floor now. So lying back on your mat, coming right down. So you're lying flat on the floor and your knees are up towards the ceiling. Okay, like this. Hands flat on the floor as well. And we're going to do some bridge poses. Okay. Now, you've maybe done this before in the gym, but what we're going to do today is your feet should be positioned probably about a hand and a half's length away from your bottom. And when we go up, we're not just going to lift up our bottoms like this. We're going to really think about our weight going forward and our knees shooting forward as well. They won't actually shoot forward, but that's what we've got to sort of imagine. So we're going to peel our vertebrae up one by one and imagine that motion of going forward, because this is a preparation for a wheel pose, you know, when people are up in their back bend. So that's why we have to have that motion at a foundation level. So we're going to peel up and really think about putting those knees forward. That's it. Peeling your back off the floor. That's it. Really using your core more than your bottom. You're using your core to pull yourself up. Keeping your breathing going. And then gently lowering back down. That's it. Well done. And we'll do another one. So we're going to peel up from the floor. Remember, knees feel like they're shooting forward. That's it. Feet are firmly planted on the floor. And if you want, you can shuggle your shoulders underneath and clasp your hands. And that gives a little bit more of the back bend. That's it. That's an option for you. You don't need to do that. And then shoulders out and back down again. We'll do one more of them. So we'll come back up again. Remember, peeling yourself up. Knees going forward, feet planted in the floor. Shuggle those shoulders underneath and clasp your hands if you like. Really using that core. That's it. Hands back out to the side and coming back down. Well done. Now from here, I want you to lift your knees up, right up to your chest. Give yourself a lovely big cuddle for working very hard. That's it. And roll back from side to side because it gives that lower back a nice massage, especially because we've been doing bridge as well. That's it. Back and forward, back and forward. And what I'd like you to do now is get ready for Savasana, your relaxation pose. So this is the point where you can pause me and you can go and get an eye mask or a pillow or blankets. You'll be at home, so the sky's the limit. Make yourself as comfortable as possible, and I'll see you back here for Savasana in a second. Hope you're all comfortable for your relaxation. Now remember, when you're lying back, your legs are sort of mat width apart. So we're not lying with nice legs together, mat width apart. You're lying nice and comfortably. Now, if this is a problem for you, if you can't lie on your back for whatever reason, you can lie on your side, absolutely. You could use a pillow between your legs. You know, I don't know if anybody, if maybe when they were pregnant, you know, you put a pillow underneath your bum, you can still do that. Put the pillow between your legs and lie on your side for Shavasana. Absolutely. We ideally do it on our back, but that's not available to everybody. So, lying back and your hands are a little bit away from your body, not too far, and your palms are facing up. And as usual, what I'll do is I will talk you through the first few minutes of this, just gently guide you into the relaxation, and then we'll have a silent relaxation as well. So I'll still be here. You don't need to worry about turning the video off or anything like that. I'll still be here, and then I'll bring you out of it at the end as well. Okay, so sitting comfortably and gently close your eyes if you've not already. And what we're going to do is something a little bit different. We're going to start at our feet, and it is a body scan of sorts. We are going to clench your toes, scrunch your toes up tight, and then release them. And we're going to do that all the way up the body to switch those parts of your body off. So we've done the toes, then you're going to clench your calf muscles, really squeeze them, tighten them up, and then let them go. And every time you let go, just think of yourself going deeper and deeper into the mat and deeper into relaxation as well. So now we're going to do the thigh muscles, really big muscle groups, so give them a right good squeeze, a good tense up, really work a wee bit at it, then let them go, completely let them go. Then up to your bottom, give that a really good squeeze in, that's it. Give that a really good squeeze and let it go. Tummy muscles now, squeeze in, that's it, really squeeze your tummy muscles in and let go. And let's go up to the top of the back, feel those muscles in your back tensing and then letting go. And every time, remember, getting deeper and deeper into the mat. Next, your shoulders, feel them tensing up and let them go. And your arms now, let's tense up those biceps, that's it, and then let them go. And then clench your hands and let that go, that's it. And then sort of scrunch your face up a wee bit as well. Face does hold a lot of tension. Scrunch that face up and let it go. And already you should be feeling you're much more relaxed than a few minutes ago. So just letting your breathing go. We're not doing anything special with our breathing. You're breathing naturally. And you're thinking about your breath, but not overly so. We're just trying to distance ourselves from any worries or things that might be on our mind, because that's going to stop us really getting the benefit of this relaxation. So we just try and concentrate on the breath and try and switch off for a few minutes, as this is your few minutes to switch off and get all the goodness from this yoga practice. It really matters, this bit. So I know it's tempting to skip it. I know it is if you've got a lot to do. And I would be lying if I said I had never thought of that before, but please do it. It is a large part of the yoga practice, so please do it. So we're all lying nice and relaxed, and you're just feeling yourself on your mat, feeling super secure on your mat, and feeling yourself just letting go and giving into the relaxation. That's it. Taking your time and just relaxing, relaxing, relaxing. So gently bringing your awareness back into the room and just activating those toes, giving them a wee wriggle, and your hands a little bit of a wriggle as well, just starting to feel those sensations coming back in your body, and gently turning your head to the right. Slowly roll your head to the right, and in your own time, the rest of your body following suit. So you'll be on your right hand side in a sort of fetal position, and just take a moment there. Don't go rushing up. Take a moment there, gather yourself, let yourself wake up, let your body wake back up, because we've been relaxing quite deeply. And very, very slowly, in your own time, come to sit up. Really, really slowly. And at this point, if you want to go to your bed or continue relaxation, far be it from me to stop you. Please do feel free to continue what we've started. Other than that, I'm estimating you might all be back up now and sitting with a nice straight back and your legs crossed and your hands at your heart. So may this practice heal and strengthen your body and mind. Namaste. Well done, everybody. Thank you again for joining me. I really hope this is helping you do some home practice. Please do feel free to use this as much as you want. Every day would be perfect if you can bear the sight of me every day. But the point being, it's actually inadvertently helping everybody start their own home practice. If you even do 10 minutes of this, that is still a practice. So don't be feeling you need to set aside an hour. An hour is brilliant, but if it's 10 minutes, that's fine. Some yoga is better than no yoga. So thank you again for joining me, and I will see you next time. See you later.